Ben Sebastian here, and welcome to the Sonic Symphonic Podcast. This is quite an unscheduled, last-minute, I've just thought of it type of affair. Just returned home from work, and whilst walking to and from today, I was turning my mind to my next cover version and what it is that I could cover. For those that haven't been following me on socials, and if you haven't heard, and if you're new here, I released an original single called Banged Up. It's my own composition. I released that last month, and then followed swiftly by a cover by a kind of techno house duo called Gioli and Asia, and that song was playing chess, and it was my sort of reimagining of that piece of music. And then swiftly after that, in the same month, Christ, I've been busy, I released another original called My Honey Bee, all of which are available on streaming platforms here on YouTube, and I'll leave links below and whatnot. And I'm currently working on a cover version of Roger Waters' What God Wants. He put sort of 3 parts in his Amused to Death album, and I am sort of converging them all together in one sort of medley, and it's turning out to be quite a vicious thing. I really look forward to getting that one finished and released. It's going to be quite something. And I must admit, I'm a little bit proud of my work in these endeavours of late. As a composer, things here really seem to be coming together for me, and for those of you out there that have supported me, I can't thank you guys enough. So back to this kind of video / episode. There's going to be obviously an original that I'm doing after What God Wants, and then I'll be turning my thoughts to the next cover. I have 3 options, and I thought, well, why not make it a little bit interactive, and at the same time introduce my sort of viewers, listeners, to some cool music that I've kind of sort of grown up with or loved along the way in my sort of existence on Earth so far. So this is just going to be like, me chilling here, showing you some music that you may not have heard. So first on the list is a band called Roxy Music. Now, they've been going very well, a massive band in the 70s, and they released a self-titled album called Roxy Music. Self-titled, why do they need to say the title? Yeah, okay, it's late at night, forgive me. From that album, there's kind of like 2 tracks that I think would stitch together very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of play one up until the stitching point, and then kind of you can play the next one. So the first part, I suppose, would be a song called Ladytron. So let's just kind of dive into that. And if you're new to Roxy music, or if you're a musician and you haven't heard them, this stuff is absolutely fantastic. Spearheaded by vocalist Brian Ferry, who I've always had like a bit of a soft spot for sort of musically. I would have been known to do sort of karaoke covers back in the day, and maybe a bit embarrassing, but anyway, Roxy Music, 1972, Ladytron.
You've got me, girl, on the road round, got me all around town. You've got me, girl, on the road round, and it's get me down, get me down. Lady, if you wanna find a lover, then you look no further, for I'm gonna be your only. Searching at the start of the season, and my only reason is that I'll get you.
Okay, so we stop there at the repetition of the and the guitar solo, and we move into If There Is Something Here.
I would do anything for you. I would climb mountains.
kind of sort of condense, particularly that ploddy midsection. Maybe reduce that by half, make it more dynamic. But I definitely feel that the two stitched together would really work, and I reckon I could make it like maybe not as vicious metal as some of the stuff that I've done, but anything's possible. Well, I really reckon that's worth a stab. So keep that in mind, because that is option A. And what I'd like you to do is in the sort of comments below, whether you're watching this on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, here on YouTube, or you're listening on Podbean, or you've found this in any other place. Yeah, I want to be sort of collecting sort of comments and maybe doing a bit of a poll on all this kind of stuff. So on to the second one. So this was, when was it released? Let's have a give me 1 second. For 1998. Okay, Tubular Bells Free by none other than Mike Oldfield, and I think this would possibly be a lot simpler than the previous one. I think the previous one would be quite a piece to learn and walk through. But there's a certain charm about this song, and it followed me around a period of time when I kind of moved away from home and was living with my aunt and uncle. And my aunt, God rest her soul, we used to listen to this in the car so much, so many memories. This is Mike Oldfield with Man in the Rain. I reckon I could make this metal, and I think this would probably be the easiest of them all.
Just threw it all away, living in a world that you could never be a part of. And now's the time to walk away. You can't stay, no, you can't stay. You're no loser, there's still time to ride that train. And you must be on your way tonight, thinking you right through. You're a man in the rain. What's the use in hanging round these walls? Lamps are burning, but nobody's at home. There's a new day dawning as the
I think that would be really the simplest one to up the BPM and make it kick-ass fucking heavy, and plenty of lead breaks there. Maybe replicating the solo or some of those solos would probably be my greatest challenge, as lead guitar isn't my most proficient, but then I always seem to sort of find my way through. That's the beauty of kind of being a composer and having flashes of inspiration. You just find what fits. And but yeah, okay, so in some ways some of the simplest. I mean, it may be the case that I will do all of these, but what I'm asking you is, what do you want me to do next? So option B was Man in the Rain, Mike Oldfield. Now, this one is probably the easiest. Well, this is also easy to convert to metal, as the opening you will tell. And this is by a band called Yes. And if you haven't heard Yes, or haven't heard this era of Yes, it's fantastic. It's an album called Drama. They switched the vocalist out from John Anderson to Trevor Horn, I believe, for this album. And when was this released? 1980. And this track is Machine Messiah. I bet this would be quite something to take this on. You know, Yes are just like gods of prog, and if I could pull off a Yes cover, well, it'd be something that would be so like affirming as a musician as to capability. Yeah, come on, let's just hit the play.
shows that summer has gone. Agent the doorways resenting the pace of the dawn. All of them standing in line, all of them waiting for time. From time to win healer, from Machine Messiah is born. Cables that carry the light to the cities we build. Threads that link diamonds of light to the satanic mills. To see in every way that we feel it every day, and know that maybe we'll change. Open the chance to finally unlearn our lessons and alter our stance. search for a higher controller. Take me to the far and hold me. Show me the strength of your singular eye. History dictating symptoms of ruling romance. Goes at the shores of the water upon which we dance. All of us standing in line, all of us waiting for time to feel it all the way. And to be there when they say, hey, no, hands, making the change. Offer the chance to finally unlearn our lessons and alter our stance. Machine Messiah, take me into the fire. Hold me, Machine Messiah, and show me the strength of your singular eye.
Yeah, so I mean that would be an absolute epic kind of take on, but I hear so many sort of gothic overtones, especially in those acoustic stuff. It'll bring a chance for me to bring the acoustic guitar into the mix as well. So yeah, 3 different challenges. Which one do I take on next? So is it A, the Roxy Music Medley, B, Mike Oldfield's Man in the Rain, or C, Yes, Machine Messiah? Leave your kind of comments or kind of thoughts or vote even in the comments and stuff like below, and I look forward to which one you decide as a collective that I then bust my brain over figuring out and getting to something that's kind of extreme symphonic black dark metal. I can hear all sorts of stuff for all three, so maybe fun for you guys to decide. Let's see if this kind of idea of going about it this way pays off. Bit of an interaction, so thanks for joining me at this late hour. It's like the hottest night of the year here in the UK. I'm evilly sweating, but it's been fun, and if nothing else, I've introduced you to some cool sounds, I hope. Thank you very much for watching / listening.